Alright. Yeah, almost us done. Hello everybody. Time to be awkward. Yeah. So, you guessed it. Here's another gear shakedown.
You care to explain? With the fire alarm.
It's 2024. I've recorded this multiple times. A few times in the state that I go to school in, and then a few times in Southern California, and then at least one other time while I'm here in NorCal, but it keeps changing. Yeah, I've recorded this like, I don't know how many times, but we're gonna see if we can get it done. For today, we're gonna be focusing on the stuff that's a new addition to TUL, which is a chest rig, and then some of the stuff on my belt. I do have my backpack on, but unfortunately I'm not gonna go through that a whole lot, but that's kind of what it looks like. I'm not gonna go through base layers a whole lot, and to get this out of the way, I'm wearing a Patagonian jacket. No, I do not normally tuck my jacket into my pants. It's just that it's really comfortable for the video's sake, so we're just gonna go with that. Pants, as always, UF Pros. I am wearing the Logger Maxes now, which is like a 9-inch boot. Comes up my calf a little bit higher. I no longer have the boas. No more click-clack anymore. I'm back to straight up laces, which has its perks, it has its cons. But anyway, like I said, we're gonna go through the chest rig and my belt. No backpack today. I will take this off right now, just to make life easier. Yeah, let's start with obviously the new addition. I did realize as soon as I started recording that I am forgetting a couple things. I moved them around because it is like mid-season, so I'm working and doing stuff. But anything that's not in here, I'll go ahead and show it as I'm doing the things. But anyway, to get this also out of the way is I don't normally wear both of these at the same time. Usually it's either my chest rig or my work belt. It's not usually both. Because I'm wearing both, it's gonna look like there's duplicates, which there are, just because I wanna have access to these, whether I'm wearing the chest rig or the belt. So, you know, just be aware of that. The chest rig itself, as you can guess kind of what the team is for, you know, if you haven't figured it out by now, yeah. To start with the chest rig, I was really going to go with the Haley Strategic, but as you know, I'm a broke college student, so I went with other alternative. This is a little bit different in terms of material and things like that, but it's doing the job great. So far this thing's holding up. I think it's Ace Tack. Anyway, I'm not a huge brands guy, but this thing looked like it was pretty good. Felt solid when I got it, and I've been happy with it for the last few months. So I'm happy with the decision. I'm just going to start with left to right, and then I'll kind of go into the bottom, what's going on down here. So go to left to right. I'm supposed to have glow sticks on my person, so on top of, in my backpack, I'm supposed to have some like on my body, either in my pockets or elsewhere. So I just keep them here on my chest, just so I have easy access. One thing to note is I do have radio pouches on either side. I keep the radio on my left-hand side because I keep the push-to-talk on my left-hand side, so I just keep it all in the same area. Moving into these, there's 3 little pockets here. To move left to right, normally I do have my trauma shears here, but I've switched. So they're currently living in my belt, but it's these foldable trauma shears. They're a knockoff of the Leatherman, which when you feel it, it doesn't feel like a knockoff, which is why I was okay with it. Although certain things I like to have the brand just because I don't want to like skimp when it comes to first aid stuff. This was perfectly fine because of the quality of the material and everything. So I ended up going with these. It's got all kinds of features. It's got a little ruler here, so if I need to cut bandages to size. Trauma shears aspect, of course. And then it's also got a ring cutter. I don't know if you can see that from here, but on this side there's a ring cutter. And then it folds up, right? I don't have to do anything with oxygen tanks, but it does have the wrench for it, and also has a strap cutter, if you can see. So that's always really nice to have. Also got a window breaker back here. Not that I'm really doing anything with that, but you know, it's nice to have. But when I'm rolling it, it's gonna sit into this pocket, and it folds up real nice, as you saw. I do have a Sharpie, and again, I do keep them upside down just because when I need it, I can pull. I don't have to actually worry about whether or not it's coming out or if I'm gonna lose the cap or whatnot. So it sits right in here, so if I need to write like anything on my tourniquet, which I keep right here, if I need to write the time for the tourniquet or on the forehead, things like that, or mark things up, trace bug bites, you know, things like that, I have access to it. And I try to keep this tip as clean as possible, so I'm not writing on wood or doing any kind of carpentry stuff like on the trails. I have a different Sharpie for that. Again, built-in redundancies just because I like, you know, Department of Redundancy department. In here, I have a Kydex insert that I made. It was originally for my radio. If you remember, it used to sit right back here. This is the Kydex insert, but the Kydex actually holds the trauma shears a little bit too. It also retentions it. If you can see, there's a little off-put, so this also helps with retention inside the pouch. Inside the pocket here, inside that insert, I'm not going to show which group it's with, but inside this insert, I keep my mission notes, so this is specific to the task of the day, and then this is my general notes, which is like, what is declination? How do you take a bearing? What's in the March algorithm for like when you're doing your size up and all that jazz? How do you do XYZ if I forget? So it's general notes and then my day specific notes. And again, I keep that up here. Generally, I keep a small pencil in my first aid kits, which is good for these notepads because they're right in range. So for those specific notepads, I carry another one in my pants. This is usually for my trail days and things like that. So this is for my actual work. This is specific to this stuff. And then I keep a pen up here I like the blue ink just because it's nice to see on a map. So if you're writing in like black, it can sometimes blend in. Not always. Same with red, but obviously red is different. Keep highlighters in my bag for when I have to do map work and things like that. Although I should probably keep a couple up front, we'll talk about in a minute. And again, I have my tourniquet. I stage mine a little bit different than the standard way that it comes. I'm not going to go into that a whole lot because I'm not super qualified for it. But, you know, I stage it so that when I open it, it ends up with a bigger opening, and I know exactly where the tab is on the tourniquet every time. So, you know, and luckily I haven't gotten to the point where I have to use them, but if the day comes, which I hope not, it'll be ready. So, let's talk about this a little bit more. One last piece is right here, I can keep either my flashlight right here, or I can keep my multi-tool on the side here. Both of them fit great, and they're tensioned with a nice little strap. So, again, redundancy is because I don't normally wear both of them at the same time. And then moving in, I keep a little bit of rope in here. Wow, I dropped a lot of stuff. I took a lot of stuff out of here. But generally I keep my compass in here for, again, taking the bearing. And I have a headlamp in here normally that will clip to my hat. Usually I'm wearing like something with a proper brim, but today I'm wearing my boonie. I keep a small amount of paracord just for very basic stuff. And then I keep another knife just on me just in case. Again, as some of you know, I carry between 1 and 3 knives on me, depending on what's going on. Sometimes it's my digging knife for literally trail stuff. Sometimes it's other things. So just kind of depends, but generally it's for work purposes. That's it. Move down, you know, I have my patches, obviously my nice little panel. To move down, so this is the Roll 1 by Feral Concepts. This is a first aid kit, IFAK individual first aid kit, like I said. This is like immediate threats to life, so like major bleeding and things like that. And the nice thing is it opens up real nice, and I have access to everything all at once. I'm not going to show what's inside my first aid kit just because, again, I'm not qualified. I think you should go to a qualified person to instruct and teach, you know, whatever experience I have, although it's fun and games, I think it's best that you consult a professional. But what I carry some basic stuff, you know, Israeli bandages, large-scale bleeding stuff, super absorbent pads, and yeah, things like that. But this is only for immediate threats to life, so it's literally just the immediate stuff. Anything else I keep in my larger first aid kits, like the one that you'll see on my back, or on my backpack, which is just off camera. So my backpack has like, or actually both first aid kits have like second skin, stuff for insect bites, some for like long-term wound care, including like for irrigation. It's gonna be more of the advanced stuff and daily stuff, as opposed to this is just like heavy scale bleeding, large scale bleeding. Sorry, I live at the barracks, so there's gonna be sirens and helicopters, but yeah, moving on. This is one of the other, I think, additions. I don't know that you all have seen this. This is something that I'd made way back when, and it's specific to be able to hold 2 colors of flagging tape. And you'll notice that one of them is rolled one way and the other one is rolled the other direction, so that as I pull on one, if you can see that, it's tightening the other. And so as I pull on the other, it tightens the first one, right? So that it's kind of nice because then I can just kind of keep track. I don't have to worry about this thing like exploding on me. That being said, there are easier solutions, but you all know me. I like the thinky thoughts. That just about concludes it with the chest rig. And again, I'm only wearing one of these at a time. I'm not wearing both of them. So let's move down. So from the belt, PTAC, PTAC, whatever you want to call it, it's got the deering capabilities that I was looking for. So, you know, it's great to have. I don't have to do any rappelling with this one specifically. Technically, the team that I'm on requires me to have its own harness. So technically I won't have to do anything with this anymore, which it's still nice to have in case I need to attach anything to it, like you see here. So I do have my carabiner here. This one's specifically not for rappelling, but it's nice to have anyway. It's attached to an elastic band. Keep my gloves here. Mechanics impact just because, again, I smash my hands a lot. And again, this is for tool retention, so if I need to stick like a small Homatic or a small shovel here, it's retention to my thigh, kind of out of the way. Keep a bit of climbing tape, which is pretty dirty right now, and another one of these rolls with the flagging tape with the 2 colors. Both of them kind of, again, go in opposite directions just to kind of make life easy. One retentions as the other one is released, so kind of nice. I still like it, and it kind of moves to the back here, but yeah, it's good stuff. Moving on to this side, this is a lot of Kydex that I have for like specific stuff. So it's all tool specific. This is my flashlight. It's a PD36R Pro. It's new. It goes up to it's a little bit stronger than my old one. I do have my old one just in case, but this one, the only difference is it's again stronger, and then also the button for changing the settings is not on the side anymore, it's on the back. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. I'm sure I'm going to grow to love it. It's just that I've had the PDR36 for so long that I'm so used to it being on the side. But it's nice. I like it so far. It's good. Fits nicely in the holster still with a little bit of adjustment, but it's good. Right here, right behind it, I keep my Leatherman signal. This thing's beat to heck, but it's still kicking it with me. So keep it again in that sheath. And everything, again, if it's off by half an inch, I can feel it immediately. So it's all dialed in. I get bit up. And then here's the new addition. I have my trauma shears, and it is retentioned with a nice lanyard, and then it's on a quick release system, so you know it's retractable, it keeps it out of the way. If I drop it, I know that gives me the chance to pick it up. Also in another Kydex sheath, right? So it's nice, secured. Moving on back here, this is one of the parts that I'm really excited about. Back here, this piece is actually upside down, so on this side, closest to the first aid kit, is actually a holder for 2 glow sticks that usually sits here. Again, it's upside down to move this part forward. So, you know, again, I'm required to have glow sticks on me. So at the time I had it on my hip right here, but as needs changed and I'm back in the field again, I've switched it, so it's upside down. And that's to accommodate for this. This little bar right here is actually a magnet. So what I can do is I can take, say, like a small tool, I can actually stick it there and it's retention for a little bit, or screws, or small things like hammers, right? Or in a pinch, if I really need to, I can put my trauma shears there, right? They're stuck, they're not going anywhere, like, you know. That was so much fun to make. I really like having this thing. After I made it, I was like, oh, this is sick, I love it. So it's really nice for tool retention just because I'm doing all kinds of different stuff. So it keeps it all in place, keeps it all in order. Again, it's really nice. And then moving on to the back, as you can see, first aid kit, still there. This one's a little bit more extensive, again, than this one. It has all the stuff for not only bleed control, but also long-term wound care and things like that, like for irrigation, cleaning, second skin, all that stuff. A little bit of moleskin, all other things. So, like long-term stuff, it's all back there. And moving on, right here, I have my little holder for my, again, whatever you want to call this, telescope, monocular, whatnot. It's for long distance sighting. So I can see from afar. I don't have to carry a set of binocs or binoculars. It fits real nice, and it's discreet, tucked away. Don't have to worry about it. And again, it is retentioned, if you can see it, by another elastic band. So I'm really getting eaten up. But yeah, and then moving on, I do have my jump pouch still here. This side, for the most part, stays the same, but it's nice to go through it still. This thing here is my general pouch. So for a while, I had a baby tree in here the other day, but I've also had multiple baby trees in there when I was planting them. This thing, just for like anything that I need, trash, otherwise, stuff that I'm doing right, like in the moment, I can just kind of put it in here, don't have to think about it. And again, it's nice because it retentions, it tightens up the mouth, and it also has this flap over the top if I need to, right? So I can keep everything in there, don't have to worry about it a ton. Again, keep my carabiner on the side just because I can put my water bottle here or whatnot. I can hook whatever I need to in. This is more so for the water bottle just because it keeps it out of the way, swinging and all that jazz. So up here I keep another general pouch. It's smaller. Hypothetically, the easier solution for the flagging tape is just to put the flagging tape in here and then letting it dispense there. But I like being complicated, so I do have a Kydex sheath in here. Again, also just for retention that I made way back when. So if I need to keep my compass in here for whatever reason, I can put it up there and it's not going to fly out. Then last but not least, I have my retentioner. This one's by Gerber. It's a little bit thicker than the one back here. But yeah, I keep it up front just because I have my whistle here. And then I have my piece of tritium that's also a glass breaker. So I have both of these up front if I need to. This also comes off, but I'm not going to do that right now. This is the gist. And again, like all of this, if I'm wearing both of them, they work in conjunction with those yeah, all of it again works together, but I generally don't have to wear both of them at the same time. So, yeah. Hello? I hope this all makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. As you can tell, I don't wear bug spray, but I'm getting eaten up, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this now. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Backpack, I think will come soon. There've been a lot of updates to it. Switched the first aid kit, put a radio pouch, all that jazz, and like all kinds of other things. Upgraded my compass, all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's good stuff. Peace. I'm hoping everything's in the shot. There's a literal helicopter taking off behind me. Oh, that sucks. Okay, the helicopter has taken off. We can continue. It's all dialed in. I think that helicopter's coming back. We'll make it quick. But yeah, that's for another day. I'm getting bit up. Push the top. Put trash in here. Oh man, I'm getting eaten up. Dang. I'm getting obliterated on here. Lighting adjust. Hello. Do the things. Hello. Adjust. Question mark. Do adjust. Hello. Lighting. Do the thing. I'm making adjustments here. The lighting. Yeah. Okay, cool.